What's up YouTube? Today I'll be making a deck profile of my kinda budget-ish Hunder deck. There are some like half expensive cards in here, but those are not mandatory, so the majority of this deck can be bought fairly cheap. I will go pretty in depth. I will explain most of the cards. If you just want the deck list, then look in the description because I will post it there eventually when I remember to do it. So first I play 3 Hunders and 3 Hunders. These guys have the same effect. They allow you to special summon uh, one other level 4 light thunder monster as an additional normal summon the same turn as you summon them. Or every turn, I'm sorry. I just misread it. Then I play 2 Hunder. This card allows you to grab cards that you have used earlier. So let's say you discard a Thunder Seahorse to grab 2 Hunders. Then you can normal summon the Hunder, banish this card from your graveyard until the end phase, and then add it to your hand. And Hunder does not need to be on the field for you to add the card. And what Thunder Seahorse does is that you can discard him, add 2 level 4 Thunder monsters to your hand with the same name. So if you only have 1 in your deck, then you can't add it. And you can add himself, of course, but you can only activate 1 per turn, and you can special summon during that turn. Then we have Violent Prism. He's your tuner. He allows for the level 8s, level 8 synchros. What he does is that basically you can normal summon him with Maw and Paw. That's the reason you run him basically, and when he's sent from the field to the graveyard, and that includes synchro summoning, etc., then you can pay 500 life points and equip him to a monster and give that monster 1000 attack during the damage step only. Then I play 1 Honest because basically everything is light. 1 Thunder King because this card just breaks so many decks, it's so good. If you could play more than 1, then I would play more than 1. Then for 2 pretty takey cards that I run in here is 1 Photon Thrasher and 1 Decalibrator. The Photon Thrasher is just basically a beat stick that you can special summon if your opponent has, or not if your opponent, but if you don't have monsters. And if you have monsters, he cannot attack, but he's good for like exceed plays as well. And then the Calibrator gains 300 for every rank of your opponent's exceed monsters. So if your opponent has got a rank 4, he would gain 1200 attack. And then for the spells, I run 3 Recycling Batteries. This card is so good. When you activate it, you can add 2 Thunder monsters from your graveyard to your hand with 1500 or less attack. So he allows you to grab like a Paw Hunter and a Violent Prism, then normal summon the Paw, normal summon the Violent Prism, make a synchro or just a rank 4 exceed or whatever. It's basically just a rank 4 or a level 8 synchro for free. Then I play 2 Duality. I found 3 Cloggy, and it's really good for the consistency because you need the right cards in this deck. And then for the kind of stable traps, I run 3 MST because you very often lose the back row and you really want to get rid of it. And Dark Golden Book because they're just so good. They're fiendish. Monster effects are really annoying this format, and since you do not have that much protection for your cards, like destroying effects, etc., this is really good. I don't run any Veilers or anything. This is way cheaper. And then I run 2-dimensional Prism. Battle traps aren't that good, but this card is still very, very viable because it stops like lead jokes, Draco Sacks, etc. If Draco Sacks attacks, of course. Otherwise, it's pretty useless against him. And then for the staples, 1 Solemn, 1 Bottomless, 1 Compulse, 1 Torrential. These cards are just so good, you have to play them. And then I run 1 Mirror Force. This card, I think it's worse than Dimensional Prison just because it destroys. But at the same time you can take out many monsters, so I like to run one. Could run two if you want to. It's your choice. And then because I lose the back row so often, I play 1, 7 tools, and 2 trap stun. These cards saves you a hell lot of times, and you can actually OTK with this deck, but it doesn't happen that often, and when you do trap stun, it's really good. And that's it for the main deck. Pretty cheap, you know, fun deck. But let's not forget the extra. I run Crimson Blader, Scrap Dragon, Colossal, and Stardust for level 8 synchros. So just generic. I'm not gonna explain the generic cards. Then a really expensive card that you don't even need, but you can use it because it's still good. It's Constellar Ptolemy 7. This guy can basically recycle your monsters or bounce your opponent cards back to the hand, or even your own if you would like to do that for some reason. He's really good, and you summon him by overlaying your Omegas. I will show them later. Then I run 1 Crazy Box, really good versus Skill Drain, and if you just want to troll for some reason. 1 Utopia. This is a budget deck, as I said, so no Sharks, Silent Anarch, FYI, or Exit Knights in here. Just Utopia can still be very decent. Then I run 2 Omegas. This is really good versus back row heavy decks, because you can since it's a quick effect, you can chain it to like bottomless, etc. Some people don't know that, so they will waste their bottomless on. And then I run 1 Black Ship because he's so good, and the best thing about him is of course that he sends to the graveyard and he doesn't destroy. Then 2 Starleash Paladin Imo. This card saves me saved me so many times, you know. Just the effect of detaching 2 to like make any monster that's in play totally useless is a really good effect. But the fact that when he's destroyed you get to draw just makes him even better. There on 1 Diamond Dyer. You could opt to run 2 of these simply because they help you versus problem cards, but I found that I don't need to. Then 1 Maze Stroke, still a really good card. Since I don't run Exit or Shark in here, this is a good card for getting rid of problem monsters, etc. And then one Cowboy because he wins games, basically. I'm not going to show you my side deck because it's very individual. It depends a lot on what decks people play at your locals, etc. So it's going to be different for everybody. But some good cards can be like, you know, Dark Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, and just all that prophecy. I forgot what it's called, but you know, Prophecy of blah blah blah, Soul Drain. You can use Macrocosmos and Dimensional Fissure even if it ruins your, where is it, your recycling batteries place, but it kills other decks more. So I would side those as well. Then Dust Tornadoes, of course, Failures, Maxis, all those generic cards. That's it for this deck profile. Thank you for watching. Have an awesome day.